All right, good evening. Uh, Mayor Cantor is absent, so I will be filling in tonight. She might be coming in a bit later, in which case we will all shift over. Call the meeting to order, and we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Can we have a roll call?
Good evening, Mr. Deputy Mayor. Councilor Blanks.
Present.
Mayor Cantor. Councilor Cortez.
Here.
Councilor Fay.
Here.
Councilor McGinnis.
Present.
Councilor Poland.
Here.
Councilor Walters.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Winograd.
Here.
Councilor Dzanowicz.
Not sure I got recorded here. All right, we have no proclamations today. Public forum, Mr. Dodge, can we see if anybody is in this vast crowd is interested in speaking? Do not see any signups. Mr. Davidoff, has anybody submitted testimony by mail?
No, Mr. Deputy Mayor.
Thank you very much. Then we will move on to the consent calendar. Before we begin tonight, Mr. Ledwith, I understand there were a couple items you'd like to withdraw.
Yes, Deputy Mayor, thank you. I would ask that items 7M and 10F be withdrawn from the agenda. 7M concerns a potential acquisition of real estate. We intended to have an executive session to discuss this, but we require some additional time to appropriately brief the town council, so an executive session is not necessary yet. 10F is a notice by the town planner of his intention to approve minor architectural changes and landscape modifications to an SDD. The applicant requires more time to post the required signage, notifying the public of the requested change. Thank you, Deputy Mayor.
Thank you. Is there any objection to these items being withdrawn? Hearing no objections, the items are withdrawn. I'm now going to ask Councilor Poland to create two consent calendars this evening. The first will include routine administrative items that we typically act on through consent. The second consent calendar will include a number of similar items that we would like to discuss together and move as a group. Ms. Poland?
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Mayor. Without objection, I move that items 5A, 5B, 5C, 10A, 10B, 10C, 10D, and 10E be placed on consent calendar 1.
Are there any objections? Hearing no objection, the items are placed on consent calendar 1.
I move adoption of consent calendar 1. Second.
You can try. Do it again. Nope.
Second.
Me first.
Second.
Yep. Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Mayor. The motion is approved.
Mr. Deputy Mayor, without objection, I move that items 7D, 7E, 7F, 7G, 7H, 7I, 7J, and 7K be placed on consent calendar 2.
Are there any objections? Hearing none, the items are placed on consent calendar 2. Mr. Ledwith, would you care to explain?
I will, Deputy Mayor. So these items, 7D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, all under new business, are all resolutions that are carrying over unexpended grant funds from last fiscal year to this fiscal year, and our intent is to expend the remaining balances of these grants this fiscal year. These resolutions were discussed at last evening's Finance and Administration meeting and move forward to tonight's council meeting for your approval. Happy to answer any questions that the council may have regarding this.
Thank you, Mr. Ledwith. Are there any questions for the town manager about any of these items? Seeing none, then we will proceed to a vote on consent calendar 2. Do I have a motion, Ms. Poland?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Deputy Mayor. I move adoption of consent calendar 2.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion is approved. Next, we move over to new business. Item 7A, Ms. Poland. Do we do that?
Sorry about that. Thank you, Mr. Deputy Mayor. I move item 7A, a resolution appropriating funds in the West Hartford Library Fund to purchase computers, furniture, equipment, and professional services.
Second.
Thank you. This is on, do we have any discussion?
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. This is an annual administrative resolution whereby we appropriate funds in the library fund to purchase computers, furniture, and professional services. This year's allocation appropriation is $79,918.63. $15,000 will be used for computers, $49,918.63 for furniture, and $15,000 for administrative expenses and professional services. And with that account, we usually use those funds to secure speakers and performers throughout the year. Happy to answer any questions that the council may have with this resolution. We did discuss this last evening at the Finance and Administration meeting as well.
Thank you very much. Does anyone have any questions? If not, we'll proceed to a voice vote. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. We'll move on to item B. Ms. Pullen.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Mayor. I move item 7B, a resolution appropriating an energy efficiency and conservation block grant awarded by the United States Department of Energy.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Ledwith.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. This resolution will allow us to appropriate $123,890 for an energy efficiency and conservation block grant awarded from the United States Department of Energy. And this will allow us to partially fund the replacement of 282 double-headed lamp post high-intensity discharge light fixtures with 141 single-headed LED light fixtures in commercial areas here in town with public transportation routes into Hartford. So Park Road, New Britain Avenue, New Park, Farmington Avenue, and Flatbush Avenue will be the locations where we will be making these exchanges. We are expecting energy savings of approximately 74% due to a combination of LED replacements and the elimination of the double-headed fixtures. We discussed this last evening at the Finance and Administration Committee as well, but happy to answer any questions that the council may have with this resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Ledwith. I will note also that you mentioned last night that there would be more details provided at committee level, Public Works, I believe.
Yep.
We'll have more discussion about where the lights are being placed.
Absolutely. So as we get closer, further along in this project, we will bring this to Public Works Facilities and Sustainability to discuss a little. Catherine Deviney did mention this at our last meeting, but didn't get into so much of the detail. We will do that at a future committee meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. So with that note that we will get another sort of shot at this, does anybody have any questions tonight for Mr. Ledwith? Seeing none, we'll move to a voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion passes. We'll move on to item 7C. Ms. Pullen.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Mayor. I move item 7C, a resolution appropriating a nuclear safety emergency program grant for the purchase of equipment and training.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Ledwith.
Thank you again, Deputy Mayor. As the council may remember, we were recently designated as a host community reception center in the event that Millstone Nuclear Power Plant had a nuclear accident. The Office of Emergency Management received a $25,000 grant to fund the purchase of equipment, supplies, and training necessary to improve the town's response to such an emergency. And through you, Deputy Mayor, happy to answer any questions that the council had. Again, we reviewed this last evening at the F&A meeting.
Thank you very much. Does anybody have any questions? Seeing none, we'll move to a voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes. Next item on our agenda is item 7L. Ms. Pullen.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Mayor. I move item 7L. I move adoption of a resolution authorizing the Corporation Council to settle pending litigation, to wit, Godarzi et al. Versus Town of West Hartford.
Second.
I'm sorry. Thank you, Mr. Dodge. Mr. Dodge, would you like to explain this?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Deputy Mayor. Mr. Deputy Mayor, this is a fairly straightforward personal injury case in which the plaintiff alleges that he was injured after stepping into a hole on a town sidewalk, in which he suffered a complete tear of his rotator cuff, among other injuries. My office, in collaboration with outside counsel, has negotiated a settlement in the amount of $50,000. This is above the amount that I am authorized to settle on my own, and so I'm asking the town council to authorize this settlement tonight. Mr. Deputy Mayor, I shared our analysis and reasoning for this settlement in a privileged memo that I shared with the council earlier this week, and I'm happy to go into executive session to discuss it further, but hopefully that's not necessary and the memo speaks for itself. Mr. Deputy Mayor, as always, this settlement does not represent an admission of fault or liability on behalf of the town, and I recommend adoption.
Thank you, Mr. Dodge. Is there any reason to go into executive session? Anybody have any questions? Seeing none, the motion has been moved and seconded. We will go to a voice vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it, and the motion is adopted. Which brings us to the end of our bulk of our agenda. Reports of town manager. Do we have a report tonight?
I do. Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Our town manager's report is uploaded on our website, but I will hit a couple of the highlights for you briefly this evening. I'll start with some upcoming council business and meetings. We do have a Public Safety Committee meeting on Thursday, September 12th at 8 a.m. We have a Human and Community Services Committee meeting on Monday, September 16th at 6 p.m. We are working on a Community Planning and Economic Development Committee meeting, so we'll get back to you on that specific date. Right now it's scheduled for the 18th, but we may adjust that by a couple of days. And then our next town council meeting will take place here in the council chambers on September 24th at 7:30 p.m. There will be an information meeting on the New Park Avenue Complete Streets project. The town of West Hartford, as we know, is planning a complete streets improvement project for New Park Avenue between New Britain Avenue and north of Oakwood Avenue. Design is ongoing and construction is slated to start in 2025. The town of West Hartford, in conjunction with its design consultant, VHB, will hold a public information meeting to explain the project and receive comments on Tuesday, September 17th at 6:30 p.m. in the auditorium of the Elmwood Community Center. Feedback from the community is an invaluable part of any project and is greatly appreciated. The Government Finance Officers Association is pleased to announce that the town of West Hartford has received GFOA's Distinguished Budget Presentation Award for its FY 2025 budget document. The award represents a significant achievement and reflects the town's commitment to meeting the highest principles of governmental budgeting. To receive the budget award, the town had to satisfy nationally recognized guidelines for effective budget presentation. Special thanks and recognition go to Lisa Newton, Patty Lewis, Angela Idiucciani, Carrie Hupfer, Erica Sledge, Jackie McLaughlin, and the financial services staff who made this award possible. The Public Works Office will be open from 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. on 3 upcoming Saturdays, September 21st, October 19th, and October 26th, so residents can obtain an annual yard waste and recycling permit. Permits may be purchased online or in person. The Town of West Hartford's Board of Assessment Appeals for motor vehicle assessments on the October 1st, 2023 grand list will be held in room 142 here in Town Hall, 50 South Main Street, on Thursday, September 19th from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., and Saturday, September 21st from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Please bring filled out applications and the motor vehicles for which you are appealing. Applications for the appeals are available in the West Hartford Assessor's Office in room 142 of the Town Hall and online at westhartfordct.gov. The West Hartford Fire Department will hold a badge pinning ceremony tomorrow, September 11th at 4:30 p.m. in room 400. You're all invited to attend. Fire Chief Greg Priest will recognize our new Assistant Chief, James Silver, Deputy Fire Marshals James Paul Jr. and Christopher Wilcox, apparatus operator Dante Pazzolisi, and firefighters Demacia, firefighters Farrell, Gauthier, and Mitchell. And on the police side, the West Hartford Police Department's Emergency Services Unit placed third out of 37 regional, state, and national SWAT teams at the 2024 Connecticut SWAT Challenge, which took place August 12th through the 15th. This year marked the 20th anniversary of the CT SWAT Challenge, and the West Hartford Police Department Emergency Services Unit was just one of the many teams that competed. And then finally, the West Hartford Community Emergency Response Team is looking for new members to attend the next CERT basic training class, which begins on Saturday, October 12th. Classes will be held on 5 Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. New this year, a Spanish CERT training class will follow from 12:30 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. on the same Saturdays. To date, over 269 residents have participated in this valuable program. Space is limited to the first 20 residents who sign up. To join the team or sign up for the class, please fill out our application on our website at westhartford.seamlessdocs.com/F/CERT application. And that concludes the town manager's report this evening. Deputy Mayor, happy to answer any questions that you or the council had.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions for the town manager? I do not see any. We'll proceed to announcements. Park Road Association will host the last Park Road Parade on Saturday, October 5th at 10:30 a.m. And they hope everyone will participate. Very sad to make that announcement. It's a great parade, but we certainly hope it has a very successful last day and hope to see people there. If people want to participate, there's a sign-up form that should be linked on our website, or volunteers are also needed from 8 a.m. to noon to help line up the groups. American Legion Hayes Village Post 96 invites veterans to join them on September 11th, tomorrow, at the Elmwood Community Center to share where they were and what they remember on September 11th, 2001. Commander Sergeant Major Paul Vicius will be the guest speaker. The event will begin at 6 p.m. with a food service followed by a discussion of that tragic day and how it impacted people's lives throughout our nation. RSVP by emailing the American Legion Post, alpost96@comcast.net, or calling them at 860-233-9029. West Hartford Library is hosting a fall book club for immigrants who want to develop their English reading and communication skills on Wednesdays from 6:15 p.m. to 7:45 p.m. from September 11th to November 13th at the Thaxton Branch Library, 1073 New Britain Avenue. The Building Connections Book Club is for West Hartford advanced English participants from 9 different countries. To register, contact Elizabeth Hanlon at eemhanlon or eemhanlon@gmail.com, or text or call her at 860-305-1786. Next, on Saturday, September 14th, you are invited to participate in the Adult Congenital Heart Disease Association's walk for 1 in 100 at 9 a.m. from the Town Hall lot. The walk is an opportunity to thank medical professionals for their work on adult congenital heart disease and to raise awarenesses and funds for this vital cause. The registration link is on our website. Join the Buried in Treasures Workshop, a free 16-week self-help and support group for West Hartford residents with hoarding behavior who are ready to change. This workshop offers a judgment-free environment. Classes will meet every Tuesday from 1 to 2:15, beginning on September 17th at Town Hall. Register by emailing or calling Deanna Deshpande, LMSW. Her phone number is 860-561-7574, and her email we'll have linked on the website, I believe. Leading up to America's 250th anniversary, the Noah Webster House will hold a series of lectures exploring how the revolutionary generation Noah Webster's Generation Defined the New Nation. The free lecture series entitled The Original Promise of America will be held on Thursday, September 19th and November 21st at the Noah Webster House from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. Seating is limited to 50 guests. Registration would be again through the website or directly with the Noah Webster House. Get ready to unleash your inner DIY. Join Linda Lopez, realtor at Caldwell Banker, and Larson Ace Hardware staff for hands-on DIY home series. September 21st from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., learn about plumbing and the power of the snake. The event is free to attend, but seating is limited and registration is required. Email linda.lopez@cbmoves.com. Upcoming sessions include painting on October 19th and replacing electrical outlets on November 16th. Next, West Hartford Police Department will run the Behind the Badge program for adult residents starting September 25th. The class meets on Wednesdays nights for 8 weeks and offers valuable insights into law enforcement. To learn more and apply, again, there'll be a link on the town website. The Blueback Burger Bash will be on September 26th from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. The ultimate burger bash at Blueback Square. Watch as the restaurants at Blueback go head-to-head in a sizzling showdown to create the best burger at Blueback. Say that 3 times. Sampling the delicious slider versions, vote for your favorite and help determine the burger champion of Blueback Square. All votes will be entered to win a $250 gift card to the restaurant of your choice. Registration is available on our link. Limited tickets are available at the door for $15. The rain date will be Friday, September 27th. Proceeds benefit Connecticut Food Share. Tickets are on sale for Westmore Park's annual Feast on the Farm, held Friday, September 27th from 6 to 9 p.m. Enjoy a 4-course dinner featuring locally grown produce and products highlighted by the culinary talents of the Dora Restaurant Group. All proceeds benefit the Westmore Park Fund, which supports facility improvements for environmental education. Tickets are $100 per person. Weehaw United in Jazz will be held on September 28th from 2 to 5 p.m. Weehaw United in Jazz returns to Webster Walk at Blueback Square for a day of music and engagement. The main event begins at 3 p.m. when Markale Jordan, a #1 Billboard charting saxophonist and vocalist, performs with guest musicians until 4:30 p.m. The event sponsors are the Bridge Family Center, the West Hartford Police Department, and WASCO. The rain location is the auditorium at First Church, 12 Main Street. The event is free and open to everyone. And people who will recall Earl Exum's role in getting this started, and I'm sure very meaningful for the family as well to have a great attendance at this event. And finally, Daring Dialogue. West Hartford is excited to host a Daring Dialogue with the Connecticut Age Well collaboration on Tuesday, October 1st from 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. at the Bishop's Corner Senior Center. We will explore how ageism and ableism impact our lives and community. Space is limited and asking for registration by September 16th. That concludes the written announcements. Does anybody else have any announcements? Go ahead.
So this is a busy time of year for West Hartford United Methodist Church. One, we are continuing the food drive to end for the month of September. And then also pumpkins are coming. So the first pumpkin delivery is the last Thursday of September. We expect 2,500 pumpkins to come in. So if you're in the area from 4 p.m. until the truck is empty, stop by. We'll take whatever time you have, 1 hour, 2 hours. And then the pumpkin patch will be open beginning that Friday and running through October 31st. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cortez. Any other announcements? I will make one. I was sort of holding it off in case she arrived, but Mayor Cantor, again, did not make it back today, but she has had an excellent excuse. She was part of the delegation from UConn at the White House, celebrating the UConn men's basketball team. So great videos online about a very interesting discussion held by our coach with the president. You can watch it yourself, and we'll look and see if we can spot Sherry. So congratulations to her for, I'm sure, what was a great trip, and to our UConn basketball team. So with that, unless there is an objection and somebody wants to stay later, I do not see any, we will adjourn this meeting. Thank you.